Tutorial, I'll be showing you how to use the Cinema 4D 3D engine in After Effects. So we want to make a new composition. I'm going to add a solid. I'm going to add a text layer, and I'm going to open this up. So as you could see, in the transform options, I only have two attributes that I could change, which is the X and the Z. So the X basically is the horizontal movement, and the Y is the up and down movement. So the first one would be X, and the second one would be Y. And when you see there's a little cube right here, if you don't see it, make sure that you just activate these buttons here and activate the cube. And now you'll see a third option. The third option is considered to be the Z. So X, Y, and Z. Any 3D element would have a Z axis, which is considered the depth of the subject to the camera. So how close uh, your text or your graphics is to the camera. So that's the X axis. So once you activate the 3D by clicking on this cube option, you want to make sure to go to the render section on the top right here and click on the classic 3D um, and change the renderer from classic 3D to Cinema 4D. And basically it tells you that there's a whole lot of options and effects that will not work based on this render engine. So I'm going to go ahead and say OK. Now I'm going to add a light, because the only way that you can actually can see the changes, the 3D elements on the layer, is if you have a light. So I'm going to go ahead and add a light, and you'll learn more and much more in depth about the lighting and the camera options uh, in After Effects in the advanced motion graphics in ART346 that is being offered in spring. So this is just a very basic overview. So once you're in that class, you just have some familiarity with it. And I'm not requiring you to incorporate these 3D techniques. However, if you like to do it, that is totally fine too. So there are different lighting um, options here, and like I said, you'll learn more about them in the next class. But for now, we're just gonna kind of leave that um, the default setting. I'm just gonna change the color maybe to make something a little warmer, and I'm gonna say OK. And now, again, you can see that I can move the light up and down. The red arrow is the x-axis, and the blue is the depth. And you can see it. Okay. And then if you want to access the options, again, you just double click it here, and you can make whatever change that you want to make here. So let's say I want to make it more intense. Can make it more intense or less intense. And you can also change the radius and so on. And also the cone, if you want to have a little cone or a larger cone, this is like you can manipulate it as you wish. So, but for now, we're just going to leave this one alone. I'm going to go back to my text, and you see that because I've activated the Cinema 4D engine, I'll get the geometrical options here. And once I open that, you'll see that I have a bevel depth, I have also extrusion depth. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of make that really big and change the bevel style to, let's say, angular. Now, we come back here, and if I rotate, you see that the text is completely 3D now. So this is how you can actually add depth to your you can do it to your graphics, you can do it to shapes, uh, and so on. So this is the 3D Cinema 3D engine in After Effects.